It's something of a cliche to say that young people had an effect on the elections last year. But what does that mean exactly? Hi, I'm Anthony Alvarez.
And I'm Stephanie Hill. On this Eagle Eye View special, we're going to take a deeper look at what the participation of young people meant in last year's historic election. We're going to try to define the youth vote and look at what young immigrants had to do with the election.
We're going to examine what role the immigration policies played in both the campaigns of John McCain and Barack Obama.
Also, how well did the candidates do on matters of education, the environment, and the economy?
Let's start with that big question. What exactly is the youth vote?
More than 36 years ago, the passage of the 26th Amendment, which lowered the voting age from 21 to 18, appeared to many observers then as the dawn of a new age of voter participation. In fact, voting has become more of a chore to be ignored than a civic duty to be upheld in almost all groups except Americans over 50. The passage of the Voting Rights Bill on July 1, 1971, came amid the Vietnam War, when 18-year-olds were routinely drafted and could fight and die without having the right to vote. Since the 1972 elections, lack of youth vote participation has every candidate seeking the highly elusive youth vote. The millennial youth voters are adults 18 to 30 years of age and define themselves as politically engaged, tech-savvy, and a diverse generation. Young adults are taking action on key issues in communities and on campuses all across the country. Living paycheck to paycheck is a fact of life for today's young adults. Over the past decade, college costs, health insurance, and housing costs have soared. About 2/3 of college students graduate with debt, with the average graduate owing $20,000. Youth turnout rose sharply in the 2008 primary campaign. More than 6.5 million young people under the age of 30 participated in the 2008 primaries and caucuses. Candidates are using other methods as well to get youth voters. It has become a matter of contention of how long a candidate should spend on the group that doesn't traditionally vote.
Social media is an avenue that is reaching the youth vote and these younger voters. That's the problem in the past. You've had a lot of campaigns doing traditional campaigning where they're doing advertisements on television shows like 60 Minutes, which the youth vote does not watch. They are doing traditional rallies, which a lot of times the youth vote and the youth don't show up to. So you're hitting them. The Obama campaign is hitting them in realms and avenues that they're used to going to, that they're familiar with, that they're comfortable with. And so they're actually tapping into this group in ways that has never been tapped into before.
The number of young voters in the 2008 presidential election has tripled, even quadrupled in some states, compared to the 2004 elections. Websites like Facebook and YouTube not only allow students who don't subscribe to newspapers or watch the news to stay on top of the polls, but allows them to share their excitement over the polls and candidates. The youth vote is here to stay and will affect all future elections.